This is the start. Actually, it's not the start. This is like the fourth day of our vacation to Big Bend. We have been to Carlsbad Cavern. We have been around the San Antone area to see the Aquarina the, with the glass bottom boat. We have been to Carlsbad Cavern. We went to see the Living Desert and went through the Fort Davis Mountains. And now we are in Big Bend. It is a magnificent sight. Just something else. We're now getting ready to go. It is Monday morning to go. Y'all can turn around and wave to me or something. Here we are at the horse stables, Big Bend National Park, horse stables. And where the horses are in the back here. And what we're going to be going to see is this kind of stuff. And I'm going to slowly move around. And it's 7:45 on Monday morning. And then if I just continue moving, they're ready for me to get on with the group. This is just such a magnificent view, and I have no idea how much of this will come out. This has a Mexican name for Little Big House, and you can see how it got its name. This is a panel. Here we have a view of part of the lodge on our second day, actually our third day. It's the morning of our second full day. We went on the horseback ride yesterday. We took no pictures on the video at the horseback ride or after because we were exhausted. It was a beautiful, beautiful ride worth all the aches and pains that we went through, but it was exhausting for non-horseback riders. Any comments, Mama?
We're just glad we went, but probably could not sit on the saddle again today.
These are the lodges that we're staying in, or cabins up at the lodge at Big Bend National Park in Big Bend, Texas. And we're looking at a panoramic view of the front side. This little hill, mountain, whatever you call it, is called Appetite Hill, and it was explained to us that the soldiers back in the other days had to run up this hill and run back down to work up an appetite before they could eat breakfast, and they had to do that every morning. They had to go up and down this hill before they could get breakfast. We have a few clouds coming in today, as we can see from the horizon here, and they have just about completely covered up part of the mountains over on the view I'm looking at right now. And this is called Big House. In Mexican it's called something else, and I don't know, but it means big house. And as you can tell, it's a long ways down. This is from the back porch of the cabin that we're staying on. And as you can tell, it's got a beautiful view, and all the area that I'm going over right now is the area that we rode on horseback yesterday. And we went approximately 7 miles one way on horseback, which meant we rode 14 miles. And up at the top of this mountain that's covered with the clouds and all, you see a little bit of rock sticking up off to the right side that looks like a castle, and that we were on the other side of that, and it was called the South Rim. And at the South Rim, it was a sheer drop off, and at the bottom you could see the Rio Grande River, which is where we will be tomorrow, going down on Thursday on a float trip. In this area, the low area behind the cabin, is the part where we see quite a few deer. This morning we had 4 or 5 bucks, one real nice 10-point buck. They're all still in velvet, but beautiful animals, beautiful deer up here. Now to get on what the family really enjoys doing is sitting on the porch looking at what's going on in the wilderness and enjoying their books to read. Tracy, would you like to say something about this vacation so far?
Not really.
Well, would you like to look into the camera, because it's going to stay on you until you do, and say something? No, say something about, have you enjoyed the vacation?
Yes, I have.
What has been the most fun so far? Tell me what's
I
been...
don't know.
Did you enjoy the horseback ride
Yes,
yesterday?
I did.
Was that fun?
Yes, it was.
Did you enjoy Carlsbad?
Yes, I did.
All right. Did you enjoy Aquarina Springs with the glass bottom boat
Yes, I did.
and the ski lift ride?
Yes, I did.
How about you, Trey?
Yeah, I enjoyed all of it.
You've enjoyed all of it. And Mama?
I loved it. This is one of my favorite things right here. We get to take it all in.
Yes.
We've had some fun hikes. Horseback ride was spectacular. I could do this about a month.
Okay, and there you hear it from the fans.
Now, here's a reverse shot of our photographer to prove that he was actually here, since he ends up spending most of the time photographing everything and everybody else. Do you have some direct words of wisdom about this trip and how you feel today?
I really feel pretty good today. I'm not even sore. I'm less sore today than I was before we started the horseback ride. I was sore from Carlsbad Gallery. But my legs feel better today, and I feel like I'm ready to get up and go. And since it's almost 12 o'clock this morning, I feel like I want to conquer a mountain or do something like that. But we've had an enjoyable vacation. We've stayed probably busier than the other 3 members have wanted to, but I have enjoyed tremendously the agenda so far, and look forward to the rest of it.
Trey and Bill may climb this mountain right up there behind us. Today, that remains to be seen.
Starting at Appetite Mountain, here we're going to the back of the cabins, and we're eventually going to wind up at a place called the Windows, and you'll be at the window, and you will be able to see why it's called the window when we get there. But this is just a spectacular place. I cannot describe to you the beauty and I doubt that this film will describe the beauty of it. This is a look at what the back of the cabins look like. This is not the back of ours, but it will give you what they do look like. And there's the mountain peak again where we rode horses yesterday. Another perspective on the way to the windows, just to show and get a view of all that is here. Is no way humanly possible, but it is truly, truly amazing. I'll swing around here, pass up. This is a look at windows, but we're going to get a better look in a minute. So that you can see where I'm filming from, there is a walkway on this particular path which is made for wheelchairs. It's 3/10 of a mile long on a circular path to be able to come out to look at the windows. Made for wheelchairs and for the general public. And that's the view from the point that I just showed you. A magnificent sight to behold. This is down below, the little ravine. The horses are down where you see the white tops, and a panoramic view again of the high mountain cliffs. Something to behold. If you haven't been here, you've got to see it. As you can see, today is rather cloudy, and here is a different perspective on the big house, Casa Grande. And the clouds moving in on the mountain to the side of it. And another view of Appetite Mountain up beside the big house. And the pathway we were discussing before. And another view of the windows and the valley that leads down to it. Just another view of mountains, cliffs, beautiful scenery. is the lodge where they have the restaurant, check-in, and all the other kind of stuff. And behind the lodge, going straight up, seems like forever, is the big house. And a picture again of where we rode horseback. Get up a closer view. Here we have a view that is B4, and that is our cabin. This is Wednesday. We're on our way. We have just left the lodge where we were staying. We're now on our way to Lajitas, and we're down in a valley. In fact, this is the valley that the window overlooks that we kept taking pictures of. And as you can see, it goes forever and ever. It's a neat area. We have a few clouds in the sky today, sprinkled on us as we were leaving the Big Bend area. There is a beautiful wildflower dressed in green, opening up. Would you like to turn around? Spectacular, she says. This is the next mountain range that we'll be driving through. And here comes one lone car down the road. Tracy, you enjoyed it? Trey, let's see you with your hat on. Come on, put it on. All right, Trey made a purchase at Big Bend. Here we are at Mule Ear Point. It's halfway approximately, it's really out of the way, between Panther Junction, where we left at the lodge, and Lajitas, where we're headed. And as you can tell, we are in another spectacular view of another different set of mountainous region. The day has turned off beautiful. Everybody, Tracy, say something good. Hi.
Tracy wants to go for a hike and we won't let her.
Yeah, that's Tracy's problem. She's just too industrious, wanting to do everything. Actually, their main concern right now is getting to Lajitas because they heard that there's a swimming pool and maybe even TV. We haven't had, well, we have just had lunch up here at Mule Ear Point. We had sardines, Vienna sausage, tuna fish, light bread, wheat bread, Cokes, Sprite. Pretty good tasty lunch, and sardines, cheese, crackers. Not a bad lunch for out in the middle of a desert, out in the middle of nowhere. Well, we didn't quite get to Lajitas. We got about 5 miles down the road until we found another beautiful spot. This is somewhere around Santa Elena Canyons, and it's just an overview that you can look and see forever. And I may have said this already, but every time I look at something different, that's the way it looks like. Some of them up a little closer. Here we are at Burra Mesa Pour-Off. Undoubtedly, when it rains real hard, and this is it right here that we're looking at now. Burra Mesa Pour-Off on a P day. Here we are at some point still in Big Bend Park, closer to Lajitas where we're headed, and it's just like big huge canyons, craters. Can't really tell, but as you can tell as I try to capture this, that it goes downward, and then in the background are mountains. It looks like some big huge excavation of sand and dirt, but you know that God created it because it goes forever and ever. I like the word forever and ever. Hey Barb. Hi.
Hi. Good example of erosion. You can see where the water is still cutting through way down.
Erosion,
Middle.
water.
The ditch is much taller and wider. Not a drop of water anywhere in sight.
No water anywhere in sight.
All this used to be part of the...
We're still in the, where we just were, in the canyon part. And as you can, Barbara loves this plant that we're looking at right here. Here we are on Thursday morning. It is approximately 8 o'clock, and we are at the Lajitas Rio Grande River. This is what they consider the international crossing. Pepe does a ferry boat ride back and forth, a one-man show. He takes you across for $1 and back again. And we're fixing to start our all-day raft trip going down the river.
Little narration thing.
It is approximately 10 o'clock in the morning. We are.
You're not really Bill Moyers, are you? You just don't want to tell me that.
You see Trey, you already know Trey. This is Jim, our guide. And there's Tracy behind. Our guide has a very varied background. He does this 2 to 3 months in the year, and then he lives in Austria, Switzerland, and anywhere else in the world that he comes up with. Has a finance degree.
Lies a little.
Lies. We're not even to the pretty part of the trip yet, is what he says. Don't know if that's one of his lies or not.
A little bit more highly developed civilizations in the Mescaleros. Now the Chisos Apaches lived up in the Chisos Mountains, and they did a little farming and a lot more developed civilization, living in a place that wasn't as harsh weather-wise, also being higher, and they had a little bit more of a developed society. They're also quite peaceful.
Yeah.
So they all got wiped out. They don't have
Yeah.
a reservation.
Yeah. Mine is very conservative. We lived in Houston where we met, and to me the hardest adjustment is there's a kind of population that's about 55% black, 12% Hispanic, a large Vietnamese community.
In
The
Beaumont.
whites are really, they're the ones and that really changed the flavor. Finally, a lot of local money loosened up. You know, there was only like 2 restaurants there when we first moved there, even though it was a good-sized city. And now, of course, that's changed. So it's, it's changed for the better over that period of time. That's nice. Well, we've got to have something local. So I'd always thought it was being more fishy, salty. Oh my gosh, when they served that up, it was like finer than any prime rib of any
Red
kind of
meat.
Yeah. Oh, it's really good.
Sometimes there isn't enough water to get around it without getting out of it. And you kind of walk in the mouth.
Now for where we came from. And there's one other boat with us, or raft, and it's behind us. This is what we're seeing up above us. As you can tell, he never stops rowing. He says the river is low enough right now. He has to row to make sure we make the trip in our allotted time. When the river is up high, you can make the same trip in approximately 3 hours. Talking to the camera. Honey,
What?
say something.
Well, we just keep seeing more and more spectacular as we go along. What you're seeing now is limestone stacked up with these incredible formations made up of millions and millions of the leftover crustaceans and sea life millions of years ago, compacted together.
She learned all this from Jim, by the way. This is behind us. This is to the side of us. we have stopped here to see a Candelilla vat where they make the wax from the Candelilla weed. And here is a pot that one of the things they collect it, boil it in. Here's the vat or pit, and it has a big vat, steel vat in it that they grow. Takes about 200 pounds of the raw material to get about 10 pounds of the wax, and they sell it about 75 cents a pound. And what it's used for is to cover spearmint, the M&Ms, chiclets, Clorets gum. That is really just covered with this Candelilla wax. We're in the process of being up on the bank. It is lunchtime. The real time is 12:32, so it really is close to lunch. We're, I guess, probably halfway on our trip. I think it's right before we go into the Santa Elena Canyon.
Probably will get stiff. I'm going to move this to a plate.
Sure what we're in the process of doing, but as you can see behind us, or in front of us rather, is the river where we'll be headed down. And the other guide, Sam, is getting the stuff out from their raft and a better view of where we have been. And we're now chunking out the stuff for lunch. And here's the rest of the other couple. They're from San Antone, this other family in the raft. And we're bringing stuff up for lunch now, including the big ice chest. Could be we're going to have a pretty nice lunch, considering the size of the two ice chests, one for each boat. Now, lunch could be something. We've got a tablecloth, and our guides are now preparing lunch, as you can tell, with delicate touches, and they're not paying any attention to what's being said about them. I am wondering where the short skirts are, and I hope the tips are the tips expected to be high. I don't know. Neither one of them are going to pay any attention. Neither one of them are going to look up. But as you can tell, it's going to be a pretty good lunch. Here we have the vultures waiting for lunch to be prepared. And as you can tell, everybody is eagerly standing around waiting for the lunch. And we will swing back over here and see if we can get any comment from our waiters. I mean,
high-tech wilderness chefs here.
High-tech wilderness chefs.
We picked some of the finest roadkills and leftover sandwiches that we could find, put out here for you in this display.
All right, folks, did y'all hear that commentary?
Would you like me to translate for the people on the East Coast? No.
Well, no, Sam, I think he had another comment.
Yeah, there's some pan-fried sow's ears with the hair still on them. Chicken lips. Possum on the half shell, sometimes referred to as armadillo. And other delicacies, such as that we could locate by odor whilst laying on the side of the road. you folks today paid for the privilege to enjoy.
It is
Well,
now
the first one's the hardest to use. It's a big transition.
closing
What do you
in
guys,
on
what do
3
you want
o'clock.
to go to college?
Right now, I'm thinking of becoming a chiropractor.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Definitely not going to stay in Boulder.
No. Yeah, I felt that way about where I grew up in Portland Place in southeastern Massachusetts, kind of the Beaumont of the East, maybe. And I wanted to get out too.
Jack, can I take a picture?
Yeah, you can take a picture anytime you want to.
What'd you say?
1,000. We are in the St. Helena Canyon Basin now. Have been for about 5 minutes. Went through the rapids. We've been going through the rapids since lunch. It's now almost 3 o'clock, not quite. And this is the boat that's behind us. Turned around, looking where we have come from. I would comment on this, but it's hard to comment. I could comment on that.
What is there to say? With somebody with a SeaWorld hat on going down the Rio Grande River.
Hey, Dad, still Bowser?
It's just out, that was good.
It's what we
You did? When I look at this, I think of that scene in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid where they jumped off the cliff.
he keeps turning
When
me.
you were shooting there, it turned you the wrong way. So. The only place there was a view.
It was not the best picture.
But I get it really.
As you can see, a little canyon within the canyon, a natural bridge there, pretty neat looking. I don't know why our guide says he's thirsty. Don't understand that at all.
Make up a story saying that it was the homes of the early Indians, prehistoric
Oh,
Indians.
don't make up things about the Those are, but that's what those holes. Put the camera over there, Tex. I'll tell you about the holes.
Okay, here is
The
a
holes are formed from is water coming down from the top of the escarpment, working its way down to the soft spots of the limestone and coming out. So those are just basically caves, but they almost kind of go straight up if you went up in them. This is a side canyon we do as a hike a lot of times when we have enough time. When the water's low like this, we have a headwind. We just didn't get here early enough. A place called Fern Canyon up there. You see the little entrance to it? That canyon goes back about 3 miles up from there. Blow the other way.
no, it was the explanation.
Okay, it's basically a cross section of a sinkhole. You find sinkholes, of course, where you people are out between Houston and Louisiana. This is what they used to store store natural gas and oil. Also township waste are now put in salt domes like this. And we're looking at the cross section. They drill right down and put what they want into them. And sinkholes are formed from evaporite deposits. And examples of evaporites are gypsum, for example, or any salt-based type material. And contact with air and water, they evaporate away. This was most likely being here in limestone, perhaps a gypsum deposit. And when the wall separated, it was exposed. And you see how it doesn't go back there very far, but it's a perfect sphere there. Looks like the top of it was almost carved out. There's about 2 miles of canyon there.
So you say with the sinkhole,
This is a
the sinkhole was there kind of underneath the outer, or as it wore away, just that part of wore away more to make the sinkhole?
I don't understand the question again.
Like,
Get that downhill effect from the strata, it's kind of a three-dimensional effect. And on film, we only got, I think, a couple of dimensions to deal with. But we'll see when you get home and pop it in the VCR. Yeah, I swear it looked like we were going straight downhill.
whether or not this comes out on film or not, we're going straight down, but we may not look like it on the film. As he was saying, three-dimensional versus the two-dimensional on the film. But optical illusion has really got this covered in here. We have about 2 miles of our 20-mile trip left. It's about 3:45. And because of the low water and lack of rapid water movement, we're a little behind schedule and didn't get to make some of the stops that we would maybe have made if the water had had a little bit higher level to it. The wind has been blowing probably 20 to 30 miles an hour against us ever since lunch, causing Jim to have to do lots of hard rowing against the wind, even though we had the current with us. The current just was not strong enough to overcome the
The
wind.
current's always with us. We don't go upstream. No
The
matter
current
how
is
much
always
they
with us. He didn't like my terminology there.
No wind will go upstream today.
And here is the picture of upstream, of which we're going downstream, of course.
And we're going to go under a lot of cliff swallowness, and you'll probably see that's a bat. Boy, I smell rain. It's coming over us. That's why these birds aren't flying either. Yeah, we're going to get dumped down here in a minute. Did you smell it?
I do.
Our
Where
guide
you
is
guys, you got to smell rain, you know, Bill.
our guide is he is now smelling rain.
Our guy is smelling rain. Yep.
Into the sinkhole. We're looking almost straight up now. Tracy, tell me something.
Tracy, come on, look at him.
Tell me any.
Your kid someday. Okay, there she is out on the river. There's Mom. Still a VCR stuff. You can look at him and smile. No?
Trey, what do you have to say?
That's the way to keep those parents quiet. Just give them a little sound bite and turn around. They'll leave you alone for a while.
The optical illusion is this has got a this water level has a 10 to 15% grade on it. Whether it shows up on this film or not, I don't know. Truly amazing to look at with the eye. Right.
Barbara. Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to tell us this.
Right at the end,
There's some water.
Sure.
we are at the end of St. Helena Canyon.
Well, did you like
And
any of those names better?
You're looking
Hey,
at the
I
end.
know. That's fine. I'm the one.
We're on our next to last day of our vacation. We're still in Lajitas. The room on the upper left hand above the drugstore, 201, is where we stayed for the last 2 nights. Took our river trip, which was a fabulous river trip. As you can see, Lajitas is a replica of the old Wild West. It's been a real neat stay. Nice background, pretty hills, mountains, whatever they're called. Cactus of all kinds. This long spindly cactus here, Ocotal or something, it's similar to that, has a beautiful red flower in the springtime. The tall, slender one here, so tall, is what a farm of tequila is made from. It's illegal to bring into the States. Here's some more of the long, tall, and this is part of the restaurant here. And this is the entrance to the restaurant and the saloon. And we're just making a complete circle of the whole town of Lajitas. Right here where those people are coming out of is a bakery that bakes for the restaurant and the drugstore. And now we're just before checkout time. Here is the family overlooking the village in our balcony up over the room. Probably having an old-time brawl. Mom being one of the ladies of the night, I'm sure, up in the room, and here's the young boy and girl. And Mom is, of course, play acting through shooting the gun and all that good kind of stuff. Tracy being embarrassed as usual. Tracy? Get up. She says howdy. And of course the mercantile store again. As you can see, the family is now getting ready to take their place in front of the saloon so as we can have a real picture. So we'll know that they really was restaurant and saloon. Mother. Here we are on the inside of the Badlands Hotel. Fixtures, the bar room lady headed up the stairs, the one that we saw on the balcony a while ago. That was her private room. Guys, would y'all like to go up there with Mom? There. I mean, she gets a high price, folks, let me tell you.
You can't afford me.
She
You cannot
is
afford me.
the Badlands Gallery. Some of their Indian type stuff displayed in the display, all with the Mexican flair.
You recording?
We're recording. You can do anything you want to do. You can move around. And this is where we had a great time yesterday on the river float trip. Saw lots of beautiful scenery. No, not that scenery. We saw nice rocks and that kind of good scenery.
I got tired of rowing.
Yeah, Barbara got tired of rowing, as you could tell in the film from earlier. She didn't do much rowing. I got to have a Kleenex. What'd we like to have?
Turn that thing off and come help.
I will, and
We're doing all